the college football final rankings will be released around 12 Sunday. And let's get into my rankings before, the actual rankings come out. So let's get into it. Sorry, before we get into it, we already have the four teams. We just don't know what order. It's going to be Bama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. I guess the order that kind of still for debate, I guess, would be Bama slash Michigan for one, and the 1 and 2 spots, and then I guess Georgia and Cincinnati for that 3 and 4 spot. I guess that would be the real debate right now, just where to put that in that order. But let's get into my opinion on that. So yeah, so I am going Bama at number one. Now, this was a hard choice for sure. You can make a case for Michigan, you really can. But the reason that I chose Bama over Michigan was just because of their overall strength of schedule. I know Michigan's gonna. This game isn't over between Michigan and Iowa, but it's 35-3 with 3 minutes left. Michigan's gonna win that game. Michigan's gonna come off, this 2 week stretch with beating Ohio State and Iowa. But still, I guess the overall strength of schedule from Bama, and when you compare losses, I don't really think it's a jump. It's a little bit of a jump between Texas A&M but Michigan State. But just when comparing the rest of the strength of schedule between Bama and Michigan, I would just think that Bama's better. It's just that SEC title game was just so controlled by Alabama, and it's really, really close. I think it's margin thing. If you want to put Michigan at one, I'm not gonna say this is the worst take of all time, but for me personally, after watching Championship Saturday, excuse me, I would say that Bama is number one. Now I have Michigan at two. I pretty much laid out the case why they're number two, and they're number one, not number one. Obviously, they would be over Georgia just because they do have that conference title and Georgia does not. So yeah, this is pretty basic. I could talk about how the Big Ten championship game was just all theirs. But yeah, there's nothing really more to say about this Michigan team. It's a pretty good Michigan team, and yeah, they're in the playoff, and it's good for them. Yeah, all right. So Georgia at number three. Yeah, I had Cincinnati move down a spot just because that Georgia season was just so dominant until they came into play against Bama. That's really it. There's this Georgia team was just so dominant. I guess another thing to talk about this Georgia team, maybe they don't have the right quarterback. Maybe it's time for JT Daniels instead of Sebastian. I think it might be time for JT Daniels to maybe time. But yeah, I have Georgia number three. Yeah, I have Cincinnati at four. They went undefeated this year, which is really incredible. They handled their business against Houston. And they are going to be the first non-Power 5 team to be in the college football playoff, which is pretty impressive, pretty cool, pretty nice. And I'm rooting for them a little bit, as a non-Power 5. But yeah. They took care of business today against Houston. It was a bit of a game for a little bit, and then by the end, it just rolled Cincinnati's way because they got more talent. But yeah, Cincinnati at four. And yeah, it's a little weird how they're they're the only undefeated team, and they're gonna be four in front of 3 1-loss teams, or 2 1-loss teams, and 3 1-loss teams. Never mind. I got confused there for a second. But yeah, that's really it. That's just the life of a non-Power 5. But yeah, they're going to the playoff either way. And yeah, there's nothing more you can really say. Yeah. So yeah, Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments.